This is an awful story. I can't stop reading about it, however. Like many of you, I have been following the case of Eliza Fletcher. If you're not familiar with Eliza Fletcher and what appears to have happened, I'm going to give you a rough background. Eliza Fletcher was a talented marathoner, strong enough at marathon running that she had qualified for the Boston Marathon. If you are a runner in the South, in the summer, many runners get up very early in the morning to go on their long runs because it gets overwhelmingly hot later in the day and it's hard to go on long runs. My wife does this with many of her girlfriends. They get up early in the morning here in Nashville. They go out as a group on long runs on Saturday or Sundays. They've been doing it for years. Then they can go run half marathons. I think some of them run marathons. It's not uncommon in the South for runners to be up early in the morning trying to get their run in. Eliza Fletcher is a mom, I believe, of 2 young boys, school teacher, married, is up early in the morning for a run in the Memphis area, running near the University of Memphis at around 4:30 in the morning. Now, some people are like, oh my God, that's so early. I can tell you, I got up super early in the morning to do my radio show for a long time. And as I would drive into the studio for my morning radio show, I would see groups of people out running in the summer early in the morning because they're trying to avoid the heat of the South, okay? And also from a pure time perspective, if you have young kids and you need to go on a 2.5 or 3 hour run in order to be back, getting them ready for school, getting up with them to start your day, a lot of people feel like that's what they have to do. So that's the background here. She was attacked in what appears to be a completely random act of violence. She was attacked, she was kidnapped, and she was murdered by a guy who is a serial felon that should have never been out of prison. The Speaker of the Tennessee House, Cameron Sexton, reached out to me and said that they recently passed a bill that would not allow violent criminals like this man to have been out on the street to murder this woman, Eliza Fletcher. We've got a major crime issue in this country. And unfortunately, there are all sorts of people like Eliza Fletcher out there. This story, because it was a young mom who was a school teacher, who was completely innocent of any wrongdoing and was preyed upon by a violent felon who should have been behind bars still, strikes many of us as emblematic of the failures of our modern safety in the country today. And that is because, and I want everybody to listen to me carefully, we have decided that violent predators are being too unfairly treated, and so we are letting them out of prison. That's wrong. Being concerned about punishments is a luxury of a low crime environment. We are not living in a low crime environment right now. There are thousands of Eliza Fletchers all over this country who are dead today because their violent criminal perpetrators were allowed to be on the streets raining havoc upon them. And it has to stop, and it has to stop right now. We have to stop any more of these Eliza Fletchers. Cameron Sexton, Tennessee House, says they have passed a new bill that would keep everybody who is convicted of a violent crime in jail for the length of their crimes. And we got to do that all over the country. We've got to stop allowing this Eliza Fletcher story to happen anywhere in the country. Again, maybe it strikes me because it's my same state, because my wife regularly is out on jogs just like Eliza Fletcher is and was. And there could have been any number of people, I bet, all over the Memphis area who are women joggers out there, maybe even some men as well, who could have been the victim here. And this is unacceptable, and we have to stop it from happening. Violent criminals need to be behind bars. The one thing that Joe Biden probably got right in his entire political career was the 1994 crime bill, which increased punishment and allowed police to do their jobs. We got to get more police on the streets. We need to fund the police, not defund them. And we need violent criminals to be put behind bars and kept behind bars for the rest of their lives. We cannot allow them to prey upon the innocent all over this country. So prayers, thoughts to the family of Eliza Fletcher, to the friends of Eliza Fletcher, to anybody out there. Let's make sure that her life is not in vain and that we protect as many people as we can from violent acts being perpetrated by predators like what happened to her.